Well, I'm Ryan O'Donnell. I'm a tiny house builder, or nomadic builder, and we're here in Ojai, California on my work site. This is where I build the homes. This is the first house I built, and we just call it the Humble Handcraft. It's about 170 square feet. It's sort of inspired from NorCal builds. A lot of like fixture cabin style homes. It's mostly built with reclaimed materials. The framing of the structure is all reclaimed patio cover 2x4s. And the exterior is all redwood from an interior space here in Ojai. Used a lot of hand split cedar for the roofing and just in the gable and for some trim work and that sort of thing. It's built pretty simply as far as the layout goes inside. It's got just mostly open space for yoga or just laying on the ground by the fire, and a simple kitchen layout up front and outdoor shower on the back. Built with a lot of love. It's been fun. It's been sold to a great couple who appreciate the artistic vibe of the whole place, and it's got a good story so far. Well, the house was sold about a year ago to the couple, and their intentions were to put it in their backyard for a second sort of guest dwelling and possibly Airbnb type rental. It's here for now, and I'm storing it, and I'm living in it for the meantime and experience the whole tiny house thing. And that was my main goal starting out with this build, was to simplify my life and actually live in this house. So when the business opportunity arose, I kind of just went for it, and I bought a trailer when it was sold. So I've got the intentions of building my own, but in the meantime I'm able to experience this house and sort of pick things that I would have changed for my own lifestyle needs and that sort of thing. So all in all, it's been a very good experience. I'm super grateful for the progress so far. This home's for a client that's in Nebraska, and they originally started out in San Diego but recently moved to Omaha. They wanted something they could live in comfortably with their little boy growing up and them too. It's got sort of an aerodynamic front to it to sort of break the wind a bit, and it's got utility panels and the guts of the electrical and stuff stashed under there, the hitches, and it's got a gooseneck attachment for a better all-around tow, I think. This material here is clear cedar that was sort of refound. It was extra from a big job in San Jose, California, and the client sort of picked through the pile. It was a big house and they had a big pile, so she picked through and she liked these yellow boards and sort of made a pile that she didn't want, and I scored the nice juicy colored boards. Just wrapped the whole exterior with it, and then we got a lot of nice reclaimed, resawn, old growth redwood on the interior to sort of give some contrast and some warmth to the inside. Redwood was a big 10,000 gallon water tank in Santa Cruz, California, and big tree came down, smashed the lid, so the owners took it apart and put it on Craigslist and went up there, and they ended up being a super welcoming older couple, and you know, fed me dinner, gave me a place to stay, and made a good deal, and yeah, it's a good score. California Craigslist, you can't beat it. All the cabinets were built using old growth redwood that was peeled from a home in Sherman Oaks, and I personally dismantled that house and ended up being just gorgeous wood, you know, planed up and sanded, and made great face frames and door fronts for all the cabinets and the day bed, and just a lot of really nice material. This house has got 2 axles that can carry about 15,000 pounds, and the hitch adds about another 6,000. So there's ample weight room for travel, but you kind of want to balance it to where you're not too heavy inside for travel, because it's built to go across country, and maybe not daily traveler, but a weekend warrior maybe. It's a lot of fun. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of gorgeous old growth, and being a carpenter, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, no complaints. It's a great project. The size of the house is 8 feet wide, a little over that, maybe 8'3". The height is 13.6 exactly to the peak, so I lucked out on that number. And the length is 28.5 feet long. So she's a beast, but she's got all the right equipment to haul her around. So the bathroom, it's going to be pretty elaborate. There's a copper tub that's hand hammered and crafted by a Etsy artist. Their company's Copper Amano, and they actually make their unique sinks and bathtubs and different copper work in Mexico. But really high skilled individuals who are building these things. But along with the fancy sinks and bathtub, there's going to be plaster walls, so it'll have a nice handmade wall, like an enclosure for the shower, and just the backsplash and above the vanity and stuff. So there's a nice variety of texture that's going into this house, and it's going to be pretty artistic, I think, in the final product. It's got Roxel, which is a rock wool insulation, and I'm not sure in the manufacturing process that goes into it, but it's considered more green than, say, fiberglass or any of the Pink Panther stuff. So with this house, I think it's pretty unique. It's been actually a goal of mine for a while now, since I've started this company, is to be almost completely sustainable. I mean, it's hard to get full circle, but it's a good attempt on this house. We've built this thing completely off of solar energy, and I've got a good set of solar panels behind you, and then a good size inverter. So it was pretty amazing to actually be able to invest in the technology that's here, and it provides ample power. I mean, I was able to weld the whole chassis of the trailer itself with solar power, so that was pretty cool. So the power for the tiny house that I'm living in, and for the power to build, is all right here. It's just sort of the main system, and it's a inverter that can pump out 5,000 watts. It's made by Magnum Energy. And then I've got a transformer that actually can kick up the leg from here to 220 volt for a certain outlet that I can run, like my joiner and my table saw and stuff that needs 220. And here's my little battery box. I've got some Rolls 6-volt batteries that supply power storage for, like, without any kind of incoming power, I could probably live off few days of solid power. This is my grandpa's old 1950s Delta benchtop drill, and it's running off solar power. Old school with the new. Pretty fun. This is to build tiny houses in the middle of nowhere. I got it, you know, built up to supply a lot of power. It's available for me to go anywhere. I can pack all this up, put it in my little micro wood shed that I have over there. It's being built, and I could go, you know, build up north. If somebody wanted a tiny house, I could just go out there and build it for them. So. And then also I've got a backup generator for cold winter days where the sun's not so much out, and the generator runs off of biodiesel. So this is the biodiesel backup generator. Runs off of filtered and clean vegetable oil that's stripped of glycerin, which is biodiesel. And it just goes right into the tank like normal diesel fuel would, and it supplies ample energy for charging up the battery bank, so keeps things topped up around here. It's also got this sound enclosure that keeps it mellow. You know, diesel tends to be pretty loud. So I got this, and it's made by Zombie Box. It's like the only sound dampening system for generators that's available, and it works killer. And it's got this fan that sucks out the exhaust, and then you close this guy. The door just got expanded from the ring, but close it up, and its silence is like beyond belief. It's quiet, and it's got a secondary fan that takes out the hot air. And any kind of material run, I've got that truck that runs off of bio as well. So yeah, it's living the dream. It just brings about a different option for some people that are interested in making the change and living simply and having a smaller footprint and practicing this evolution of mindful living, and it's good stuff.
Hey guys, it's Alexis.
And Christian.
Thank you very much for watching our video.
Yes, and subscribing to our channel.
And don't forget to check out more tiny house stories.
And tours.
Oh, and don't forget to join us on Patreon.
And again, don't forget to subscribe.
See you next time.
Take it easy, guys.